Hi, everyone. Welcome to this morning's practice. I am so excited. It's one that has developed from my own personal practice. So it's going to be more of a flow, more of a warrior practice. So you might break a sweat. So grab a yoga mat, maybe grab a towel if you think you'll sweat a little bit, and get into something comfy, and we'll get started in about a minute. Okay, everyone, we're going to start on the ground today. We're going to start like we always do with what we call the 6 degrees of freedom in yoga. It's 6 degrees because we're moving our spine in 6 different directions. And spinal health is just something that's very important to the practice of yoga and really just to health in general. It keeps us moving and mobile for longer periods of time in life, which I think we all want. So sit up nice and tall in a comfortable seat, either cross-legged or if a more meditative posture like this is more comfortable for you, or on your knees, that's awesome. Whatever is most comfortable to you. Sit up as tall as you can, rotating those shoulders back and down your back, having your hands come rest on your knees. Option here to close your eyes as we settle in and notice our breath. Notice the sounds around us. I have our door open since it's starting to be springtime. It's so lovely just hearing the outdoor sounds. All right, on your next inhale, we're gonna sweep our chest forward, reaching on that inhale, and then exhale, we're gonna arch through the back. On the exhale, inhale, reaching forward, exhale, arching back. Inhale, reaching, exhale, arching. Go at your own pace, waking up the spine in the circular motion. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, reverse your circle. So go the other direction, waking up the spine in the other direction. One last inhale forward, exhale back, and then slowly we'll start coming back to that seated position. We'll come back to stillness. Awesome. On your next inhale, reach your arms up, big stretch overhead, and then exhale, we'll cascade down to one side, letting the ground support us as we enter into a side body stretch. Again, your stretch can be as deep or as not deep as you wish. Just check in with your body, see what you need. Breathing deep here, and then exhale, we'll come back. Awesome. Inhale, arms up again, and then exhale, we'll go to the other side. Big stretch in the side body. Opening our chest forward up to the sky. Awesome. Come back to center on the exhale. On the next inhale, we'll reach our arms up, and then we will cross opposite hand, opposite knee, looking past our back shoulders. Twisting gently here. Keeping that nice length in the spine. Exhale, release. Awesome. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, other hand to other side, other knee, looking back over. Breathing deep here. Lengthening through the back body. And then exhale, we'll come back to center. Awesome. And on your next inhale, we'll come to all fours. So mindfully move there, stacking our knees right underneath our hips, our hands right underneath our shoulders, the creases of our elbows shining forward as much as we can, entering into that flat back. Take a moment here to breathe in this tabletop position and just check in. Check in with how your back is feeling, how long you feel in the spine, whether you feel like you're collapsing in the neck or maybe in the low back. Spread your fingertips out wide, anchoring in this position. On the next inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Shine your heart forward for cow pose. Breathe in deep here, feeling that long lengthen through the belly. And then exhale, we'll tuck the belly button in, tuck the chin in, arching the back. For cat pose, pushing away from the yoga mat, pushing away from the earth, grounding in the spine, breathing here. On your next inhale, drop the belly, cow pose. Exhale, tucking the belly button, tucking the chin, cat pose. And then do about 5 of these going at your own pace. So follow your breath. No need to go at the same pace as me. Waking up the spine. Checking in with our belly and our neck too. Do one more wherever you're at. I'll meet you in tabletop position. Awesome. So we're gonna curl the toes right now. Maybe walk the hands a little bit forward. We're gonna meet in a downward dog. So slowly pressing away from your hands, peeling your tailbone up to the sky. Sinking into your calves. Maybe stretching them out a little bit. Inviting some gentle movement here, wake up our legs. And then looking straight down, breathing slightly back towards the belly button. Breathe here. Awesome. And then on your next inhale, we're going to slowly make our way to the top of the mat. So you can slowly walk your feet. You want to crisscross a little bit to get an extra stretching in the back of your legs. You're welcome to do so. We'll meet at the top of our mat. Feet hip width apart just to start. Maybe even a slight bend in our knees. Just to ease our low back into this practice. And then on your next inhale, we're going to slowly rise up all the way to mountain pose, Tadasana. Looping our shoulders back. Hands come to the side, palms facing forward. Standing strong. And then we're gonna start with some sun salutations. We're gonna do maybe about 3, 5 of these. We'll see how it goes. So on your next inhale, we're gonna reach our arms up, maybe even a slight back bend here. And then we're gonna cascade all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, we're gonna reach up to flat back, having our hands come rest at the top of our shins or our thighs, lengthening through the back, and then we'll fold again. And then inhale all the way up, overhead, palms come to heart center. So it'll be an awesome time. You want to set a little intention for your practice today. You don't have to, it's always an option for you, but if you'd like to set a little intention, do so now. And then we'll do about 3 of these going at your own pace. So follow your breath, and I'll meet you back here in mountain pose when you are done. So inhale up. Awesome. Whenever you get there, do your last breath. I'll meet you here in mountain pose. We'll put our palms out to the side and we'll just take a moment to kind of sway with the air that's in the room. If that sounds a little hoity-toity for you, a little woo-woo for you, just sway back and forth, just inviting some gentle movement to our hips. Option here to close your eyes. Just kind of feel that movement. Awesome. Well, I'll invite you to bring your feet together, really together. We'll bring our hands up and over on our next inhale, exhale, cascading all the way down to the forward fold, planting the palms, stepping one foot back, and the other. Option here to go to your knees or plank pose, if that is what you want. And then lowering all the way down to our bellies, tucking our feet, and then on the next inhale, we'll rise up, little baby cobra. Maybe stretching in the neck, looking both ways. Exhale, come back down. Press up to all fours or plank pose, and then I'll meet you in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift our right leg up high, and we're going to rotate the hips, stacking the hips on top of each other as we bend the right leg for a half wild thing pose or a 3-legged dog that's stacked on one side. We're just opening through side body, breathing deep, opening that hip, stretching through. And on your next inhale, we'll restack or re-parallel our hips to our hands and step them all the way up in between our hands. On your next inhale, we'll pivot on that back foot, reaching our hands up, over, warrior 2. Feeling the strength of the ground and our bodies holding us up. Breathing deep here. Checking in with our front knee, making sure we're not collapsing inward or outward, but that knee is stacked right over that front ankle. Engaging the inner thigh or back leg. Feeling how strong we feel this morning. Letting that hold us. Letting that be true. On our next inhale, reach your hands forward, up, and back. Stretching through the side body. Pulling our shoulders away from our ears, creating space. Breathing deep into our belly. Trusting our foundation. One more breath here. Exhale, we'll come back to warrior two. On your next inhale, have the forearm come rest on the top of that thigh. Then we'll draw a straight line across our chest, reaching our left hand up to the sky. Again, creating space between our ears and our shoulders. Extended side angle. Breathing deep here. And then exhale, we'll come back to warrior two. And then on your next inhale, we'll clasp the hands behind your back. We'll kind of shift our shoulders forward to a warrior one position. And then we will exhale and bow, having our chest come rest on top of our thigh. Arms maybe reach all the way up, maybe they reach over your head, maybe it's just really uncomfortable right here. Humble warrior. Breathing deep here, welcoming any fire, any burn that comes to our muscles. Exhale, lifting up, releasing back to warrior two. Inhale, we'll pivot on the back foot. Arms reach up and overhead for a high lunge. And then exhale, we'll frame the foot, step it back to plank or to your knees, and lower all the way down to the belly for cobra. Pressing up, stretching through the back. Exhale, releasing all the way to the ground. Inhale, pressing up to all fours or plank pose, and we'll go back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left foot up high. And then again, we're gonna do what we did on the first side to the other side. So stack those hips on top of each other, bending your left knee, opening up to the left side, stretching through those obliques, breathing deep here. And then exhale. Bring that knee all the way through, planting our foot in between our hands. We'll pivot on our right foot. And then when you're ready, feeling strong in your foundation, strong in your feet, lift up over warrior two. In warrior two, our hands are reaching forward and back. Reaching into the future, reaching into the past, but keeping us grounded in the present. It's a little yoga tidbit for you. We'll check in with our front knee, making sure it's not collapsing inward or outward, but it's just right over front ankle in that nice 90 degrees. Breathing deep into our belly, engaging the inner thigh, the back foot, feeling strong in our body. On your next inhale, we'll drop the back hand, reach the front hand up or forward, up and back, stretching through the side body. Breathe here. And then exhale, we'll come back to warrior two. Inhale, we'll drop that forearm to the top of the thigh. We'll draw the right hand across our body, reaching up, extended side angle. Creating a nice long line from the back foot all the way up to our armpit. Creating space between our shoulders and our ear. Drawing those shoulders back. And then exhale, back to warrior two. And then on your next inhale, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back. This time, I invite you to do opposite thumb on top. So that's always been told it's the one that feels weird on top. And then we'll rotate our chest forward. And then exhale, we will bend, coming forward, resting on the top of our thigh. Arms reaching up, maybe to the sky. Welcoming any burn. Breathing deep. Awesome. Exhale all the way up. Arms out, warrior two. On your next inhale, we'll pivot on that back leg. Arms reaching up. Bending in for that high lunge before we exhale. Framing the foot, stepping it back. Plank pose, or knees to the ground. Inhale, press up for a cobra. Maybe go a little bit higher this time. Stretching through the belly and the back. Before we exhale, coming back down, pressing up to all fours. And then meeting downward facing dog. Awesome work, guys. You need a moment here to kind of rest and feel where your body's at. You can take a couple of breaths in child's pose. So knees as wide as the yoga mat, having our bum come to rest on our legs, and then reaching our hands forward. Maybe your forehead comes to the mat. Take a couple of restful breaths there, or in downward facing dog. I'll meet you in down dog. If you're not there already, I'll invite you to come to downward facing dog. We'll take a cycle of breath together. Inhale. Exhale, sinking deeper into our heels. On your next inhale, lift your right foot up high, and then we'll bend the knee, planting our foot in between our palms, and we'll lower our back knee. Connect to your core, connect to your base. We'll sweep the arms up and overhead for a low lunge. Stretching through the front of our thigh. And then we'll bring our hands to our waist as we exhale. We'll straighten the front leg, heel comes up, pointing to the sky, and then we'll hinge forward for a runner's stretch. Option here to bring your hands to the ground, kind of deepen that stretch. Always have a nice generous bend in the knee if you need to. There's no need for this posture to have a straight leg, just to feel that connection all through the back of the leg. That's what we're going for. Couple cycles of breath here. On your next inhale, we'll roll through that front foot back to our low lunge, framing our front foot. We'll step it back for chaturanga to up dog or belly to cobra. And downward dog. Awesome. On your next inhale, we'll take our other foot up to the sky. So left foot up to the sky. Exhale, bending the knee, planting the foot in between our two palms, lowering that back knee. Feeling strong in our foundation, sweep our hands up and overhead for a low lunge. Check in with that front knee, making sure we still have that nice right angle, stacking our knee above our ankle. Breathing deep here. And then we can bring our hands to our hips, and then our next inhale, we'll straighten that front leg, pointing our toes up to the sky. And we'll bend forward for a nice runner stretch. Triangle pose. Or I guess a bent triangle pose. Breathing here. Awesome. On your next inhale, we'll roll through that front foot, coming back to our low lunge, framing our front foot, stepping it back, and you know where to go here. So belly to cobra or chaturanga to up dog is in your practice. Do that. Awesome. We'll press up to all fours and we'll all meet in child's pose. So bringing our toes to touch, knees as wide as our yoga mat. And then on your exhale, you'll think like you're lifting your hips over kind of like a hurdle or over an obstacle behind your feet as it comes to sink down onto the back of your feet, reaching our hands forward, forehead comes to the mat. Breathing deeply. Take this time to check in with your body, see how you feel. Maybe whisper to yourself that you're proud of how strong you are, how your foundation has gotten you through this practice. Or that you're proud that you just showed up today. One more deep breath here in child's pose. On your next inhale, as you lift your forehead off the mat, we'll start walking our hands back towards our knees. Slowly and mindfully, we'll press up. We'll shimmy our knees in to touch. Coming to sit on our knees at the back of our mat, and then you'll just scoop your hips off to one side. Extending our legs out long in front of you. Coming to sit up tall, staff pose. We'll roll our shoulders down our back, have our palms planted on the mat, toes reaching up towards the sky, crown of the head reaching for the sky. We'll take 5 cycles of breath here. And don't worry if this pose is a difficult pose for you. It's a difficult pose for actually most of us, if not all of us. So welcome whatever struggle, whatever shape you have in your body. Be gentle and gracious with yourself. Hard pose. Awesome. We'll sweep our hands up and overhead. And then on our exhale, we'll think like you're placing a big ball that's in your hands, the other side of your feet as we hinge forward, folding, reaching for our toes. Again, the key here is reaching for your toes. You don't have to actually touch your toes, but as long as you're reaching for them, feeling that stretch in the back of the legs. Breathing in this forward fold. Awesome. Exhale, we'll come back up to seated pose. And then plant your palms next to you. And then we'll bring the bottoms of the feet to the yoga mat, bending our knees. And then we'll walk our feet out about hip width apart, maybe just a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're just gonna do a little windshield wiper. So one knee comes to touch the ground, and then the other, we'll kind of just massage our hip joints slowly. And you might notice you're kind of scooting forward, and that's okay because we're gonna make our way to our back. So windshield wiper until you feel like you're almost reclining, and then let your body fall to the ground. Once you're on the ground, keep your knees bent, bottom of your feet planted on the ground. We'll bring the feet in line with the hips. And then we'll cross one ankle over one knee, creating somewhat of a figure four, stretching through our piriformis. If you need a little bit of a deeper stretch, you're welcome here to lift that planted foot off the ground, maybe bringing that closer to your body. Also welcome to weave your arms between the back of your thigh, opening up with your elbow, that hip, stretching. Breathe in here. And then exhale. Bring that foot back down to the ground if it's not already. And then we'll take it to the other side. So cross ankle over the knee, opening up that hip to a figure four. Again, if you need a little bit of a deeper stretch in that side, you can press your grounded foot up into the air. Maybe even weave your hands to the back of that thigh. Use your elbows to kind of press open the hip, stretching, opening, and breathing deep. We'll plant foot back on the ground, bring both our feet back out to the ground, and then we'll walk your feet out, extend them out long, stretching through the back. And tuck your shoulders underneath. And then your palms can come to the side of your body, or they can come to hold your belly or rest on your heart space as we settle in for Shavasana. Take this time to let go of your breath, let go of the day thus far, let go of all the plans you have, all the things you need to do, and just let your body melt into the mat, into the earth. Enjoy. I begin to come out of Shavasana by wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, slowly clenching and unclenching, rotating your wrists and your ankles, and inviting slow movements, starting from your extremities and coming all the way into your core. When you feel ready, shift your body to come to lay on one side, any side. And then press yourself up, coming to a seated position. Coming back to that comfortable seat that we started in. We'll take one more breath in together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, we'll sigh it out, open mouth. That sigh of relief is relief that you made it, relief that you carved out this time for yourself, and almost like a relief of achievement that your body can do this, your body can support you, and that your body did support you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for letting me guide you today. I hope that this is helpful and that you come back to this practice whenever you need a reminder about how powerful you are. Your next inhale, I'll bring our hands to heart center. The light in me bows and honors the light in you. Namaste. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming to class. It was so good to see you guys. If you enjoyed this, feel free to share this with anyone who you think might need it. That would be really meaningful to me. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your morning and into afternoon.